Flamer by Mike Curato was found in Broward, Collier, Hillsborough, Marion, Seminole, and Volusia County schools. The camp the boys go to in the book has an island that the book says looks like a frying pan, but we're all certain it looks like a f***ing balls. It also contains a shower scene with a group of boys where a young man gets an erection. Another where a boy watches porn and asks, "Why is there so much hair?" while noting that those are so big. And if none of this causes you to pause, there's another section where a group of boys masturbate together and are pressured to ejaculate into a bottle.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nasir, and what you saw right there was a short video that Governor Ron DeSantis played at a press conference in Florida where he was basically, as you saw, and this is basically, these books are in libraries, not just in Florida, but all across America, all across the country, folks. They're there. And what we have to do is we have got to speak up as parents, as grandparents, even, adolescents. We have got to basically tell our school boards. We've got to tell our congressmen, our senators. We've got to tell the people in Washington. We've got to talk to our local businesses and schools and churches and synagogues and mosques. And we've got to basically let everybody know that they are teaching and hypersexualizing our children in schools. And it's happening, folks. It is happening at public schools, at public libraries. The article goes on basically into the New York Post here, where it talks about oral sex, butt plugs, masturbation as meditation. Meditation, folks. The people that are doing yoga are probably going, what are you talking about? How to send sexy selfies, how to have oral sex, anal sex. They talk, it's discussed in these books. It's pictures, folks. It's pictures. And it says, welcome to what's inside books found in your schools, in your child's school's library. And this goes on to say, the article says, from the New York Post, it says, we apologize for the graphic nature of these pictures. You don't expect to see images like this in a newspaper or in your television, and yet these are readily available, accessible to small children, pre-K, kindergarten, elementary school, middle school. The question is no longer whether there's pornographic materials within your kids' reach at their school. It's whether or not we do anything about it, the article goes on to say. Now, in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis has decided to act. Now, what's been happening? He's being attacked, folks, by the Democrats, by the leftists, by the liberals, by the social justice warriors, by the virtue signalers, academic institutions, the alphabet networks. All of them, they're attacking him, they're attacking us. Now, it says, when DeSantis visited New York in February, Mayor Adams tweeted to him, "Welcome to NYC at Governor Ron DeSantis, a place where we don't ban books." Now, my question to Mayor Adams is, who doesn't know, how to run a city. This guy's a total moron, total leftist, total loser. Because I say, which of the books specifically does Mayor Adams believe need to be, they need to be accessible to children? Is it the one for the butt plug? Is it the one with the graphic image of anal sex? Is that the one that he's talking about? Then there's always talking about the deny faction of the American Federation of Teachers. And one of them, basically, the boss of the American Federation of Teachers, Ross Weingartner, this guy, total delusionist, total liar, total fraudster, big time liar. He says that called the idea of inappropriate books in school libraries, it's just a hoax, man. It ain't happening. This isn't happening at all. What's that Governor DeSantis talking about? Pornographic books in school? Not a single one is there. This is coming from the American Federation of Teachers boss, Randy Weingartner. This is the book, just one of the hundreds, if not thousands of books that are out there. Titles. I mean, I mean, you can just imagine how many books are across the United States in every school district, in every school, in every library, in every public library. We're talking hundreds of thousands of books, folks. Hundreds of thousands of books. Copies upon copies upon copies. One of them is this one here, Gender Queer. And we're gonna take the next cut, and we can't show you all the stuff because it's so graphic or whatever, but we're gonna give you a little bit of an idea of what's inside a book like Gender Queer. That's gonna be cut number 3. We're gonna go to that right now. So folks, this is just a scene. It's a scene from Gender Queer in which a protagonist receives oral sex. It says, let's try something else. Of course, with the little heart emoji. Now, here's what happened. DeSantis came to the press conference, and he came armed with the facts. And he came with the images of the books found in school libraries. Guess what happened, folks? Guess what happened? The Florida news stations, they had to cut their feeds. They couldn't air it because the images were so graphic. So let me get this straight now. You can't show those images on TV. Okay? But you can show those images in a school library. You can actually have a drag queen or anybody, male, female, whatever. They can book time and they can have a story hour and read and show that book to young children. What I'd like to ask is this following question. If a straight white male, or a straight white female, if any one of us who basically knows that this is wrong, that this is not normal, that we are hypersexualizing our children, that this is actually pornography, I think it borders on child abuse and pedophilia, at least an act of. And we know this is wrong. If any one of us, and I'm just saying, okay, straight white male, straight white female, straight black male, straight black female, straight Hispanic male, straight Hispanic female, straight, you put in your ethnicity, whatever, your color, skin, whatever, male or female, and you decided that you wanted to present and talk to a child about this book, what would happen to you? And somebody found out. The police would be called, there would be an investigation, they'd be wanting to know what the hell you were doing, what were you thinking, you'd probably be charged with contributing to delinquency of a minor, all that, right? But if you're not straight, and you happen to be, gay or LGBTQ or gender fluid or binary or whatever the hell it is, or a drag queen or whatever, you're immune now. Now you can go ahead and do this. Anyways, it goes on to say that the adults at home watching the news, they can't be exposed to these types of graphic pictures that Governor DeSantis was trying to tell her that these are the books that are in school with these graphic pictures. But small children at school, that's target acquired, baby. You can do that all the time. That's a target audience. Now it says, how did we get here? So they have a book out called Stolen Youth. And they basically say that they lay out that libraries, which we know now, have become the staging ground for this kind of woke indoctrination, this virtue signaling, and it's aimed right at our children, folks, right at our children. The 2019 American Libraries Association Conference, it featured workshops, folks. These are workshops for librarians to go back to their municipalities, to their communities, to these public school libraries where they run like a thiefdom. And these workshops were creating queer, inclusive elementary school library programming. Okay? Queer, inclusive elementary school library programming. And books and workshops that, are you going to tell my parents? The minors' right to privacy in a library. Now minors have a right to privacy. Parents don't have a right over their children in a library. The state is basically saying, Your parental rights end at the doorstep of entering a public library. And as long as you're within the confines of the public library, you have no rights. Children have privacy. They can be, that's what they want, privacy rights for children. Now, in that book and other books, it says, how do you go about sexting? Sexting. It says, play safe. Just like you use protection when you have sex in person, use protection when you sext. Crop out your face, hide your birthmarks and scars, and edit out your piercings and tattoos. And it says, and don't forget to tell your sweetie how hot they look. Let them know you appreciate the little gift you've sent them. Little gift that you've sent, you lucky devil, you. And then they have a little picture here, basically here, where this boy here is going, you're so hot, love you, miss you. And then the reply, ba-ding, as it gets in there. Me too, tit for tat. By the way, I'm going to want to be getting some photos of your cute self sometime soon. Blush. I mean, this, folks, is just unbelievable, okay? It just really is. Then there's another book out there. It's called Let's Start Talking About Gender versus Sex. Folks, if you want to talk about these things, you want to do it age appropriate level. You want to start talking about it maybe at high school in a junior, senior class, college, obviously, if you want to have these, that's fine. But to have these kind of books available for pre-K, 3, 4, 5 year olds, elementary school, even middle school, even let's say high school, freshman, sophomore. I mean, I guess we could debate those times, but definitely junior high, no, middle school, no, elementary school, no, pre-KK, no, absolutely not. Gender versus sex. And let me just read to you what it says here. It says, back in the old days, people used to use these terms interchangeably. We now have a more modern and nuanced understanding of what they truly mean, physically and psychologically. Now I ask you, using words like this with, preschoolers, kindergartners, pre-K, elementary school, using words like, interchangeably, nuanced, physically, psychologically, even talking about gender, is the social, cultural, and mental state of seeing male, female, combination of the two, or neither. It has to do with how somebody feels inside rather than what they look like. That's what they say gender is. Sex has to do with reproduction, as well as physical and biological makeup, and can reference things like chromosomes, genitalia, and hormonal activity, rather than mental attributes. It says it can also refer to acts of physical intimacy that generally involves one's genitalia, like having sex. Lately, the entire concept of biological sex has begun to be debunked as well. That's what they're telling people here. That's what they're telling everybody. That's another book that was shown by Governor Ron DeSantis, in Florida, folks. That's another one. Let's go to something else. So, folks, the bottom line is when you guys come across these kind of programming in our school, in our children's school library, this is the origin. This is where it's all starting. The left, we know this. They've been doing this for a long time, folks. Long time. Before it was very, very, very deceptive. And it is now starting to come out in the open, but it is still being very deceptive in many, many school districts. We've heard the stories of where guidance counselors have told them and teachers have told children not to tell their parents that they're going to like a genderqueer club or an LGBT club or something like this, or just, shh, don't tell your parents, okay? They don't understand. You can talk to us, which is completely inappropriate, completely usurping parental rights, absolutely. But the left has made indoctrinating a top priority because if they can start it on our children, they can shape them to the way that they want them to be, not the way that we want them to be. And basically hypersexualizing them and bringing this kind of content is exactly what they know that they will cause a rift between parent and child. It's happening at a school near you. It's not just in Florida, but every single governor should be doing this. We know the blue governors aren't going to be doing it, but the red state governors, parents, we need to come together. We need to do it peacefully. We need to bring it to the attention of our congressmen, our senators, our local leaders, and we need to bring it forward to our school boards to basically say these books, age appropriate level. If not, they need to be, completely taken out of the libraries and put in an appropriate place and context for children that are age appropriate to understand these different nuances and everything else that's happening. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Put your comments down below. I'll leave you with my final thought, which is when you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.